there, this is Nikki Rowland for Just Nick, and today I am designing a layout using the Paws to My Heart background. I've cut that on white cardstock and I have a single photo of my father-in-law's dog, and I'm going to fill in all of those paw prints with a different pattern. I'm using the Paige Evans Turn the Page collection, the little swatch books, and they're great because they're really tiny patterns and just a small amount of each one. So I've cut one of the paws already, and I'm using it as a template to draw around on each of the little swatch pages and cut those out just manually with a pair of scissors. So now that they're all cut out, I'm just going to glue them in place. I just use a wet PVA glue, and I'm doing them individually and just sticking each paw print into the little frames. When I chose my patterns, I went for a different one for each paw print, and I wanted to have a good mix of solid colours and some heavily patterned papers as well, so a bit of a mix. When I say solid paper, I don't mean actual solid one colour cardstock, I mean like a tone on tone pattern. So you can see that I have a good mix there, and they're all backfilled now, so I can now move on with the rest of my layout. So I've got a single photo there. I'm working with a coloured pattern paper background, which I don't very often do. So I'm just choosing some different pattern papers to go behind my photo to make it pop and separate it from the background. And now I'm just sorting through some ephemera and some journaling spots to see what I can add to my layout to add colour, but also some interest as well to the background around the photo, and also on top of the cut file to bring the layout all together. Okay, so usually I like my borders to be on a white background and to have a coloured border, but on this occasion, because I'm working directly with a coloured background, I decided to add my own border with some stitching. So I went for yellow machine stitching and I went all around the outside twice, and what I'm doing now is I've just pulled the threads through to the back and just tied them in place. So now I feel that even though you can't really see it too well on the video, it has a nice border around the edge of my layout, which makes me very happy. So that means I can continue with the rest of my layout now. Now I'm just going to raise up the cut file on foam pads because I like my layouts to have lots and lots of dimension. So I've just stuck a couple of bits in place onto the background before I'm sticking my cut file in place, so that big journaling spot to start off with. So now I'm getting my cut file positioned onto the layout and my photo stuck in place. And I decided to add that tag on the right in order to balance the layout out a little bit. It's all over on the left hand side, and I just felt that the right hand side was a bit empty and just needed a little something there to even it out a bit. So what I've done is I've just added the tag using my sewing machine again, and I've tied some twine through the top. I've also added a title with thickers, and then I've gone and sewn through those as well, also using the sewing machine. I find that those chipboard thickers ping off all the time, so they either need to be stuck down with a really strong glue like Glossy Accents, or to be sewn through with the sewing machine. So that's what I opted to do this time. So now I'm just going through and adding the finishing touches to my layout. So I've added some chipboard, the arrow to the right of the title, and some other bits and pieces over the top of the cut file. So I'm adding in some little hearts, chipboard hearts, some stickers, and I'm going through and adding now some little tiny sequins, which you can barely see, but in real life they look quite pretty. So now I'm just going through the rest of the collection and the embellishments that I have to see what else I can add to the layout. And in this collection there's some really lovely paper clips or decorated paper clips. One that I'm putting in there to the left of the cut file you can see, and I'm just tying some twine around the clip just to balance out the twine that's over on the right hand side in the tag. So I'm just getting that all stuck in place. I'm now just adding in an ephemera frame underneath my photo. I do love a frame to be offset underneath my photos, so I've just added that in there. And I'm pretty much done at this point. So I'm just going to finalize the layout by adding in some journaling. I'm going to use my ruler to write, draw some lines and then write my journaling onto those lines. You can, that sticker on the big heart above, I really struggled with that. I wasn't happy with what I originally had there, so I played around with some different options and I eventually settled on that circular one. Okay, so just getting my journaling complete now. And that's it. I'm going to call my layout done. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm not really a doggy person, so doing a doggy layout was a little bit different for me. And I really enjoyed it actually. It was great fun. And this cut file is obviously completely awesome to go with that gorgeous little dog there. Okay, thanks so much for watching. That was Niki Rowland for Just Nick.